The entire family of Joseph was warmly welcomed in Egypt and given the land of Goshen for a home. But after several generations, the Israelites multiplied and became a threat to the existing king. Hence that scary description. There arose a king who did not know Joseph. ESV. He was not indebted to Joseph. The Israelites were no longer needed nor appreciated. Pharaoh was possibly unaware, but certainly now ungrateful for the contribution Joseph and the Israelites made to Egypt years before. As we would say today, the new Pharaoh threw the Israelites under the bus. Because Israel was under the special covenant of the Most High, the king, Pharaoh, became popular in hell. However, being popular in hell is not necessarily a permanent condition. Situations change. Nations change. God is over all. No one from the east or the west, or from the desert, can exalt themselves. It is God who judges. He brings one down, he exalts another. Psalm 75, verses 6 through 7. Surely the nations are like a drop in a bucket. They are regarded as dust on the scales. He weighs the islands as though they were fine dust. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. King Rehoboam. The successor to his father Solomon, Rehoboam had a hard act to follow. Indeed, the Lord highly exalted Solomon in the sight of all Israel and bestowed on him royal splendor, such as no king over Israel ever had before. 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 25. Rather than rejoice in his father's blessing and greatness, Rehoboam was threatened by it. As Pharaoh was threatened by the growing number of the Israelites, Rehoboam was threatened by the acclaim and glory his father was given. He was foolishly determined to outdo his father and prove that he was greater than Solomon. "My little finger is thicker than my father's waist," Rehoboam declared. 2 Chronicles chapter 10, verse 10. Rehoboam was popular in hell. His foolish pride and jealousy led to Judah's and Israel's eventual split down the road. The nation that God had raised up was eventually divided, never to be the same again. It began with an insecure, incompetent, and jealous king. Rehoboam was totally unteachable and unreachable. Who can stand before jealousy? Proverbs chapter 27, verse 4. It was jealousy that motivated Lucifer to revolt against God. It was jealousy that lay behind the crucifixion of Jesus. Mark chapter 15, verse 10. It was jealousy that infuriated the Jews as the number of Christians grew. Acts chapter 13, verse 45. Jealousy is popular in hell. It is partly what holds the demonic world together. When you are the object of jealousy, there is nothing you can do to change those who are jealous of you. You can flatter them, brag on them, get people to talk to them, or shame them. It won't work. Jealousy is the essence of most satanic attacks. When the attack comes, what do? Just stand. This is the way we are told to engage in spiritual warfare. See Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 14. You stand. Don't fight. Don't trip or fall. Just stand. Remember, the greatest freedom is having nothing to prove. Rehoboam was going to prove that he was greater than his father. So silly. But this is repeated thousands of times in politics, in education, in medicine, in law, in the church. A pastor often needs to prove he's greater than his predecessor, and sometimes says things about that person that are not very nice. A politician wants to show he is abler than the person he followed, and often blames his predecessor for his own lack of progress. Caution. Do your best to come to terms with your own jealousy. It is easy to see in others, very difficult to admit it is your problem. See my book, Jealousy, the sin no one talks about. In any case, remember, jealousy is born in hell and gets its impetus there. After Judah and Israel were divided, Judah had a succession of 20 kings, 8 good ones, 12 bad ones. Israel had 19 kings, all bad. Ahab and Jezebel, king and queen of Israel. It is difficult to say who was more evil, King Ahab or his domineering wife, Queen Jezebel. It is said of Ahab that he did more evil in the eyes of the Lord than any of those before him. 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 30. Ahab was the son of Omri, who did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and sinned more than all those.